Algebra 1, Sensei Learning System, Lesson 11. We'll be graphing linear equations, and this number here that comes in front of the x is the slope. So the slope is going to be rise 3, run 4. The first point that we're going to create will be the y-intercept, which always leads with x is 0, and then the y part comes from here, -2. So I'm going to graph x at x at 0, y at -2. And there's the point. That's 0, -2. Then from there, I'm going to rise 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to run over 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. That takes me to this new spot right here. This new spot is at x is 4 and is at y is 1. Finish. That's my graph. Next, my slope here is the leading number in front of here. That'll be -1. My y-intercept will be x is 0 and my y would be 2. So 0, 2. So that's x is 0 and y is 2, which will be located right here. Then from here, I'm going to use my slope. Let's put this as 1 over 1, so we have a denominator. So I'm going to go down 1, and then on the bottom over 1. That'll take me to this spot right here. Going down 1 over 1 takes me to this spot. This new spot is where x is 1 and y is 1. So that's where x is 1 and y is 1. And this is my line that goes to the 2 points. On number 3, my slope here will be 3, which is in front of the x, but I'm going to place it over 1 to get my run. My y-intercept will use x is 0, and we'll use -2 as my y. So 0, -2, here's where x is 0, and where y is -2 would be here. This is where y is -2. Okay, now I'm going to go up 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go over 1 time. That takes me to this spot right here by going up 3 and over 1. This new spot is where x is 1 and where y is 1. So we'll write x is 1, y is 1 for the second point. We'll connect them to make our line. Here, my slope is -2/3. My y-intercept starts with 0 and ends with 1 here. So this gives me my y-intercept. 0, 1 is where x is 0 and where y is 1. So it'll be this spot right here. Next, this -2/3 indicates I got to go down 2 but over 3. So if I start here and I go down 2 times, 1, 2, takes me to this spot right here, and then also over 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. So this point right here is the point that goes down 2 times and then over 3 times. What point is this? Well, it's at x is 3, and it's also at y is at -1. And that's my graph. Okay, for number 5, my slope is 1/3. My y-intercept is going to start off with x is 0 and have -2 as your y-intercept. Okay, so 0, -2 is located here at x is 0 and then y is -2, which is located at this spot right here. This is where x is 0 and y is -2. Then from there, I'm going to go up 1 and over 3 to get to my next point. So up 1 and then over 3 times takes me to this spot right here. This spot that I just looked, this dot right here is where x is 3 and where y is -1. Next, here we have an understood 1 in front of the x, so we'll put 1 here. And we'll put an understood 1 as a denominator under the 1. So this gives us rise of 1 and a run of 1. My y-intercept always begins with 0. And this number here gives me the rest of my y-intercept, which is -4. So 0, -4 will be located, x of 0 is here, and 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where my y-intercept would be located. No, sorry, at -4. Okay, then I'm going to rise 1 and run 1. So let's go up 1 and then over 1. That takes me to this spot right here. The location of this point is x is 1 and y is -3. Finish. Okay. Here. According to this formula here, my slope is 3. I put it over 1 to get my run, so I have a rise over run. And my x coordinate for my y-intercept will be 0. And this gives me my y coordinate. So 0, -4, which is located 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. Here's my point. And so I'm going to rise 3 and then run 1 time. So let's rise 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then let's go over 1 time, which takes me to this spot right here. Okay, and I draw my line through it. Okay, this coordinate is where x is 1 and where y is -1. Next, my slope here is going to be -3. And I'll put it over 1 to get my rise over run. My y-intercept always starts with 0, and we will use 4 here. So 0, 4. So x is 0 here, and then y being 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. Next, I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go down 3 but over 1. So down 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then over 1 takes me to this spot right here. Okay, let's go down, and I connect the dots, and then I find my coordinate for this second dot here, which is x is going to be 1, and the y part right here, that y is +1 here.